Out here today having a look at this old Mitzi ducted unit. I actually came out here for a water leak, you know, classic summertime call. Couldn't find evidence of the water leak and their signs weren't anywhere. They said they put signs out where the water leaks were and nowhere near the units. Anyway, as I was here, this thing went out on a 4240 fault. Now, this is quite old. So we're looking at 2007 PUHZ 10 watt WYB. Anyway, pretty crazy. I've got this out just to see it's pretty bloody hot today. It got up as high as 39 before, but I've just got a breeze coming through right now, so hopefully it cools it down a bit. Anyway, as you can see, down here, 42, 40, 51. So what I'm gonna do, I can't find, like on the app, this is obviously too old for me to work out what exactly that fault code means. I think this looks like a predecessor to the PUHZ YKBs. So what I'm gonna do is just jump onto that service manual and see what 4240 is. While doing a visual, check this out. This is what I just found. Huh. What is that? It's come from CNL VB. I'm gonna go to the wiring diagram and work out what that is. CNL VB LEV1. Crazy. I wonder why that popped out. I'm gonna isolate power, go through, just push everything in. I'll put that one back in. Actually, I might even just test it quickly before we go ahead. So what is that, 6 pin, 6 wire? Beautiful. We'll quickly just test it. Let's isolate power. Easy. I'll get the pin set up and show you. Okay, winding 1, winding 2. Winding 1 on the second set of coils and winding 2 on the second set. Yeah, so test out fine. I'll quickly just test that to earth just to make sure. But outside of that, I mean, hopefully that's all it is. That'd be great. It went in snugly, like it's not just popping out. It's so strange. Let's quickly go around and make sure all these are in. Just to, I have got power off obviously while doing this. Just doing a visual of the board too. No burn marks. The fuses all look okay. Yeah, it's just that one. That's all okay. Go ahead and reapply power. I didn't show it just before I did test for correct incoming power. It's usually the first, well, not usually, it literally is the first test I always do. You'd be surprised how often it actually just saves your ass wasting time. So L1, L2, L1, L3, and L2, L3. Hopefully the camera picked it up, but I heard that LED clicking away nicely, which is great. It's going to go through its little initialization mode. Once it's gone through that, what is it saying? Yeah. Once it goes through that, we should see a little, I forget what they're called, just little indicators. This is a similar setup to like a city multi. It's obviously not a city multi, just like the YKB isn't a city multi, but it's like a P series. It has the same city multi stuff. Anyway, whatever. Seemingly done. Okay, cool. Now what we'll do, I'll go down to the controller downstairs. It's an older one, PAR 21, I think it was. Turn it on, see if it fires up. Just kicked on. Just got back up onto the roof. Compressor's fired up. Fan's fired up. So when I looked at the YKB manual for fault codes, I said it was like an overcurrent protection. I have to assume again, I've only done a brief look, and honestly, the fact that this thing's now running, I'm not gonna go too crazy into it. I have to assume it's similar. They usually try to keep them pretty consistent. But yeah, as it stands, we're currently running 6.4 amps, that's fine. Maybe it was just that had popped out. Yes, yeah, anyway. Quickly just have my gloves off actually. Maybe we do another issue. That suction line is, oh, that is hot. We're gonna have to gauge up, okay. I've just realized this has an SV1 valve, so solenoid valve 1, which is usually a oil return for the first 4 minutes. So where I'm probably measuring that oil coming back, which is why it doesn't feel that cold. So what I'll do, that doesn't feel crazy cold either, to be fair. Get my hands in there. I did move my suction temp clamp to this side. It looks like it's still 24 degrees, which is obviously very, very high. But what I'm waiting for is SV1 to de-energize. Bam, there we go. All right, I'm gonna jump back on and see what my pressures do. Actually, so my temperatures. Why does it look like it's about to start thunderstorming, hey? Oh, shit. You can see there, temps are starting to come down, everything's starting to look a lot better. The space temp was pretty warm. The controller said 24 degrees, but I reckon it's hotter than that. We'll keep monitoring for a little while, but while I'm sitting here, it kind of gives me an opportunity to show you my new fancy toy. These guys reached out, said they wanted to send me this particular thermal imaging camera. And honestly, as if I wasn't going to say, yeah, send it to me. So that's why I'm showing it here. This is the first, I've been wanting to get one for quite a while, right? Obviously, you see them pop up all over the place and they look handy as fuck, man. And I've had it for probably, I don't know, a week now. I found a few applications to use it, which I found pretty handy. Obviously, using it on a lot of boards just to see if there are, hot spots. Using it for electrical connections, all that kind of jazz. But been kind of wanting to use it on a coil just to see if I could see the refrigerant through it. And now I finally got the opportunity while I'm just sitting here waiting. So, here we go. They, like I said, they sent this to me, so take whatever I say with a grain of salt. I can sit here and tell you that I'm not going to lead up the garden path, but in the end, I'm just a guy on YouTube, right? So, anyway. So, let's have a play around with it, shall we? Compressor's ramping up. Refrigerant distribution looks pretty good there. Actually sounds like it's going through a bit of an oil return. We'll see how long that lasts. Oh. I mean, no, but anyway. Oops. I do like this thing, man. But to be fair, I've never actually owned one of these before. So, of course I'm gonna like it, right? Anyway. I have to go back and have a look through the emails. I think they said if anyone does want to buy this thing, they can use a code. I think it's just HVACRAUS. I think you get 15% off. I'll confirm that before I release this video anyway. But again, obviously do your own research when you're doing this stuff. I don't know about all the technical stuff. Actually, do you know what? I'll get the book out. Here's all the technical stuff for you. I'm still learning what all of this means, to be fair, so I just went back and had a quick look through the email, and they also gave me a product link. So I'll put that in the notes in the description of the video. Like I said, I like this thing. I've been using it for about a week now, but again, I've got nothing to compare it to. So, anywho, all right. Oh, there we go. It's just dropped out SV1 again. I was trying to get you in there, but there's SV1 there, and you see that line going up? That's basically going up right here, quite hot. Ow, very hot. And this is our suction line here, and the entry point is just up there. So the idea is that in the first 4 minutes of operation, that'll energize. It'll send discharge gas with the oil straight back into the suction line to get back to the compressor, and then when it does oil returns, it does the same thing. But that's why you touch here, your suction line's not that cold, right? I mean, granted, it's not crazy cold anyway because the room's quite hot down there. But you touch that and it doesn't feel cold, so you can't test your measurements here because of that reason, which is why I had weird readings cut off with that. I just didn't stop to think about it. Anyway, yeah, this thing's doing what it can. It's a hot day, man. Like I said, 39 degrees. We've got 16 or so degree suction gas coming back. Condensing temps, you know, that 10 to 12k above ambient. It's looking pretty good. For whatever reason, that LEV flume popped out. I don't know why. It went in nicely. Maybe there was some work done. I just don't know. But as it stands, this unit's working nicely, so I'm going to leave this video here. Yeah, thank you for watching. Potentially a little teaser for another video. So it's a Friday, it's, you know, 39 degrees, and I'm on call. I'm very excited for this weekend, but I've had my first call come in. I'll probably, unless it turns out to be something completely useless, but the service call is that there's no cooling in this gym whatsoever, so I've got to go there. I will, unless it, like I said, unless it turns out to be something completely useless or not interesting, I will make a video about that. So keep your eyes peeled. All right, have an emergency service call today for the Coolroom unit that isn't maintaining temperature, so I'll throw the screen grab up. It's sitting at about 14 degrees, so definitely not. The other issue is that when I come here, the freezer is actually sitting at minus 6.7, and I believe it's that unit, and neither of them are running. So today is a probably, I think, 40 degrees. We'll get the thermometer out. A 40 degree day. He says Saturday as well. This is after overtime or after hours call out. And I've just had another one come through, so it's going to be a pretty hectic day. I've had, this is my third call, not for the day, but Friday night, and then the one this morning and this one, and then the other one just come through. So we better jump into it, eh? Compressors seem warm, but warm as in like 30 degree, 35 degree warm or whatever. Like they haven't been running for a little bit, so check the coil, see what you can see in there. That's fucking tied up against it. Go back and have a look at the footage. Coils seem okay. The fact that they're both not running makes me want to check power first up. Alright, unit has power. Let's check that pressure control. 38.6 in the shade. Perfect. Yeah, pressure control was open on high pressure. I just gave it a whack and it's kicked on. So I'm going to go ahead and clean that coil. I'm going to just, actually not, let's just whack this one too. Great. Perfect. So it's been going on high pressure for a little while. So what we're going to do, we'll shut these things down. I'm going to have the controller pump them down and then we'll clean these coils. They're doing construction nearby. I imagine they've been cutting, grinding, all that kind of jazz. So yeah, even though they don't look too bad on the surface, it's probably all embedded in there. So hopefully we've got a tap point somewhere around. Can I see anything? Oh, hello, what's that? Bingo, there we go. These are both auto reset. Now, they're not supposed to bang on and off every, you know, probably a couple of minutes, which I'm assuming is what has been happening because they're both stuck. So when I've whacked them, obviously now they've cut back in. Yeah, so that is a problem because I don't have any on me now. I don't have any. I've got one on me actually, but we're gonna have to try to get through the weekend and come back and replace it on a different date. Once we get everything clean, we should be sweet. We'll probe up on everything as well. But yeah, like I said, I've had another call come in as well. So at this point, I'm just trying to triage stuff, get it up and running so we can come back, not on overtime, I guess. All right, you gotta love, they give you nice access. At least I can actually get the hose head behind it, but just move it a bit forward, hey? It's just, anyway, obviously you're not on this, but just think about the guy who has to come after, eh? On a 39 degree day. All right, I'll stop whinging, let's get cleaning. It is coming out pretty brown. Once I get some, yeah, it's probably just enough that it's tripped out. And who knows if those, I mean, those units look relatively new. And this, like I said, they're doing a whole bunch of works here as well. So maybe they're relatively new and just haven't been set correctly. I don't know. We'll check that after. Right, probed up, just turned the cool room back on. Still got the freezer off for the time being. Room's sitting pretty high, like 15 degrees. So let's have a look at those pressures. All right, we've just cut out, and I hazard a guess it's on high pressure, not because the condenser's dirty, but I was just having a look over here while I was monitoring that. Have a look at that. Guess what we cut out at? Roughly around 2000 kPa. Okay. I'm gonna have to take this off, and they've done this weird. Anyway, I'm gonna have to try to get this off so I can actually see what this one is set to, because I can't see it, but I guarantee you it's exactly the same as that. They haven't set it. They just haven't done it. They've just whacked it in and left it. Anyway, that's always fun. Good stuff. Ring-a-ding-ding, boys. We have a winner. God damn. All right, so yeah, we're gonna pull that apart, adjust it. I've isolated it so it doesn't start again, and then we'll fire this thing back up. Again, they've killed the pressure control, so we're gonna have to come back and replace that. But we should, given we've cleaned the coil, we'll obviously monitor head pressure when we do turn it back on, but we should be fine in the meantime. Yeah, I've got other calls to go to. I'm gonna go and adjust it to about, god damn, at least the breeze is coming in, it feels a bit better. Although again, stormy. I'm gonna go set it to about 2.7 or 2,800 kPa, about 60 degrees, 404, that seems all right. Which should keep us well clear of actually cutting out on this thing. Anyway, let's go. So 37 degree air going into the coil, 49 degree condensing temp, that's looking pretty good. There you go. This is actually the same side, in case you didn't know. Worked out by the plane shots. That Dakin VRB4, well actually I didn't replace the board. It's the same side though. It's literally my second time here. Anyway, we're looking pretty good. This is looking pretty good. I've gone and turned that one on because the freezer was getting up to about minus 3.6. So I had a feeling it was going to be exactly the same problem. So you know, and it's been running for about 5 minutes now. But as you can see, this one's looking pretty good. Stabilized out at about 50 degree head pressure. Air temp going in 38. You know, 12k difference. That's pretty good. 16 or 15k compressor superheat. I'm pretty happy with that. I'm gonna go inside and check the temperatures and see what's coming down to. Then we'll probe up on the freezer, check that, and I think that's gonna have to do it for this particular one. Because like I said, I've got other calls to go to. We will have to come back and replace the pressure controls at another time. Again, clean coils. It's not gonna trip out on head pressure unless the fan fails, but these units look relatively new. The same manufacturing thing on it. Oh, they've drilled through it, that's nice of them. Man, I'd love to know who did this, eh? Come on. If you... Yeah, anyway, I'll stop whinging. It's just hot, you know. Room sitting at about 10 degrees and minus 10 degrees, so... Sight glasses are both flashing intermittently, but those expansion devices are going to be open trying to pull those rooms down. So we're not going to pay much attention to that until it gets within 5 degrees of set point. I'm going to start packing up my hose. We're going to probe up on the freezer, have a look at that one as well. And then move on to the next one. And who knows, maybe there'll be another video in it. We'll see. Probed up on the freezer now. Room sitting at about minus 12, but it's really dragging. You'll find with freezers, it'll rip down to a certain temperature, depending on how long it's been off, obviously. It'll rip down to a certain temperature, usually what the product temperature is, and then it'll really start to drag. So we will not see this thing satisfied before I have to leave. This thing's getting close, I think. I can't remember if it was like 8 degrees or something the last time I went in there. And sight glass is cleared up. That's awesome. See here. Sight glass is still flashing on this. Again, room temp is still relatively high. Yeah, let's just keep monitoring and then I'll get that bloody thing back on. This is looking all right. We're gonna obviously come back to replace the pressure controls. I'm happy to leave it in the meantime. And when we come back, we'll do a full system analysis. We'll go measure a VAP superheat, make sure that's all set correctly when we come back to replace pressure controls. Or even maybe they might even get the guys who installed this to do it, honestly. I'd be more happy to do that and just leave it in their hands. And they can fuck up again. Actually, that's bad for me. Let's not do that. Anyway, I'm gonna start packing up and get out of here. Yeah, I just don't have enough time. It's currently 3:30, 3:45, and I don't have enough time to stick around. I gotta go to another call. It's probably about 40 minutes away and go do that. So I am gonna leave this video here unless before I decide to release it, I come back and do the pressure controls and I'll put it together. But if I don't, thank you for watching.